this is exactly what Andy promised us. Big breeze. And we are staged and ready about 1:10 away from the start.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now.
So that is a 1-minute signal. Trev, how's the wind?
Same direction. 220, 23 knots.
220 at 23 knots. As measured from the start boat. You put your kite up another 10 or 15 meters and it feels a little bit more like probably 26 up there, I bet.
30.
Where's our X-ray flag? Up there, okay. Just want to make sure. I bet these sailors are gonna be pushing a little harder now. I noticed Landauer, he's doing the same thing he did before, number 3, who just got a 3rd in the previous race, is sending it down toward the pin. A lot of people up at the boat.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Here they come.
3,
2 seconds.
1, now.
That's an all clear start. All clear. And up here is Kari Eisenhut once again. Andy Hansen. Daniela Moroz had definitely the best start up of the boat, right next to her training partner, Nico Parlier. So Daniela and Nico were up by the boat, and they're full on. Landauer was down by the pin, and it doesn't seem like it was as special down there this time. But here we go, 23, 24 knots, 50 kites on the line. It's full on, ladies and gentlemen. God, it just gives me goosebumps. This is unbelievable. Look at that. So off to the beach they go. Where they stop, somebody will know. Bridge and Florian Trittel are down in the pack. They're the Spanish kite and the white kite together. And that's Landauer down there as well with them. He's a little bit poked out even more near the pin. Not many takers to the right-hand side of the course. You got five or six boards out there, but it seems like everyone wants to hit that left-hand side. There's that just fantastic shift in there. You get a big lefty once you get to that beach. So it's a race to the beach, but again, you know, you don't want to end up jammed up inside with all the people tacking and trying to deal with their various right-of-way rules scenarios. You don't want to be in the middle of that mix. You want to sail through that clean. So Ollie Bridge comes over. He's looking good out there. Parlier and Bridge and Florian Gruber, Nico Landauer, and Martin Dolenk, all kind of in a row right there. Parlier on the blue, Gruber on the light green with black, Bridge on the white, Landauer on the blue, Dolenk with the orange and black, and then Florian Trittel with the blue and Spanish flag. So as they get away from the beach, they get down on the number a little bit. They're lifted out at the beach, and then they start to pour down with a little bit of a header as they get outside. No, I wouldn't say a header, but back to the average breeze. They're getting less of that land effect breeze. And up near the top, there are a bunch of spectator boats. Everyone's hanging out and watching. It looks like Bridge has it. Ollie Bridge rounds right in front of Parlier, and we've got a game. Ollie Bridge in front of Parlier in race 4 here around the offset mark. And let's see what happens on this run. You can all remember in the last event in Mauritius, whenever they ran around the top mark, Bridge would be out in front, and then Parlier would turn it into another gear going downwind. Let's see, now that Bridge is on the same kite as Parlier now, he's riding for the same company, Ozone Kites. Let's see if Parlier's got that same magic that he used to against Bridge when Bridge was on Elf Kites. So Parlier jibes first, Ollie jibes right behind him, and Ollie's just going to point it right at his stern and see if he can hang on. Classic. Now that is racing right there. Full speed, full on, 23, 24 knots. They're probably going 30-something downwind. Woo! What a thing. Everyone remembers that Mauritius event. I know one of my friends, Dom, old Dominique from Kite Sports Point Disney. Shout out, buddy. How you doing, Dom? We miss you. Wish you were here. Remember those battles between Parlier and Bridge? Well, we're having one right now. Let's see what happens. So Bridge has got that crouch. Parlier's got the upright. And it looks like Parlier was able to edge him out on the downwind. So he still does have it, but not quite as special as he was in Mauritius. Bridge jibes. Parlier takes a left-hand turn. Bridge, just 4 seconds behind him, takes a right-hand turn. And Bridge looks lit. I think he said he was on a 13, and Parlier was on a 13 as well. Not sure what Triddle ended up with in his hands, but he's rounding in third. What happened to Landauer? He must have had some trouble up there. Gruber in fourth. Dolenk in fifth, with Guy Bridge right behind him, and following that is Landauer. I'm sorry, Landauer is in sixth with the orange kite. Right behind them is Matt Taggart. Dude, Taggart! Guy's on fire. It's really cool to see, owners of companies. Matt's an Ozone guy, owns a company, been there for years. Famous days of parafoil and paragliding. Now he's out here racing. He's a Masters Division sailor, and he's putting it up against these young bucks. I guess it helps when you have the inside knowledge on how to tune those kites, but man, what an athlete that guy is. Truly a special individual. A lot of people taking the right-hand turn and heading out towards the beach. The beach is just really where it's at. Now, I wonder if we're getting a balanced course. It's got to be balanced at this point, but you're just getting those better lefties up there. Still, no one wants to go outside. Hit the beach. That's what Bernie says. There goes Manny Biscups. Man, those new fly surfers are cool. I see this white and blue Sonic that Adrian Geislinger's on. That's a pretty looking kite. Adrian Geislinger, one of the cooler guys out there. Telling me a bit about that Levitas foil yesterday. They're really going through a bit of a renaissance in their foil design right now. They've got a few different fuselages, lengths. They're playing with a new back wing. Mast is just about the same. But talking with all the Levitas riders, you can tell they got a little twinkle in their eye these days, because I think they found something that's working. And it's very clear that that some of the fly surfers that they're riding have something that's working too. Specifically in Martin Dolenk. Martin Dolenk's got this 15 that is like apparently the fastest kite on the water, as some report. There goes Parlier around the top mark. Upright, in charge. He put the hammer down on that beat, and he's around the offset mark, and he's coming downwind. Bridge is around the top. Bridge with the white Volvo kite and the Union Jack in second. And it looks like his brother Guy Bridge just edge out Florian Trittle at the top mark for the third place position. So Trittle lost one on that beat. He's gonna be kicking himself. Really cool to see all these different backgrounds and different types of sailors coming up against each other. Parlier being I would call him an experimental type of sailor. You got Ollie Bridge, who was raised in a junior sailing program in the UK in Exmouth, knows his sailing, got his sailing chops. And then you get, Guy Bridge, who had the same kind of upbringing. Of course, he's his younger brother. And then you get Florian Trittle, who's the 29er world champion crew in 2011. So there's no shortage of talent here, that is for sure. And then fifth place, that is Nico Landauer on that orange kite. Sixth is Gruber, seventh is Dolenk. Gruber on the lime green and black, Dolenk on the orange, black with the orange. That is a special group up at the top, tons of talent. We started that race at exactly 10 minutes and 15 seconds ago. Maybe 12 seconds, I was a little off there on my count, but the race is looking good. I think we're gonna be around that 14-minute time. We did a sailing instructions amendment today. We were doing target times at 12 minutes before. We bumped it up to 14 because we want to stretch it out a little bit and give these folks a little bit more room to sail on this race course. Because yesterday with a 0.8 nautical mile course, 55 on it, doing 5 legs, not just 4 as the normal, we did 5 legs. One of the comments from the peanut gallery was it felt like it was driving in India. Cars everywhere going back and forth and right ways and left ways crashing. Donkeys, you got the whole thing out there. Marvin the Marvelous coming around in his full shark. Oh no, that's Craigie. I don't know who that is. Is that Pete Morgan? Pete Morgan with the anti-shark. He and Marvin have the same yellow helmet, so it gets me confused every time. We got James Harvey on board with us. James, local fly surfer dealer and kiter. What do you think? What's going on, man?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. Great show.
What's your perspective on the day so far?
Oh, this wind's building. It's just looking like it's going to be a really competitive afternoon.
Yeah, nice and competitive. Well, this is a great place. You usually kite here?
Yeah.
Yeah? This is a good spot. And there are a couple other kite spots. The pond over here. There's a freestyle event going on there today too, right?
Yeah, there is at the pond.
Oh, cool. It's a big day for Rockingham. And the pond's in Rockingham, is that correct?
Yeah, just
Just outside, yeah, cool. So big freestyle contest, Australian title, something like that? Or is it just a National Kiteboarding League from Australia? That's a good circuit. That just built up last year or something like that? Yeah. Well, good on you, National Kiteboarding League. Thanks for tacking on an event next to us. We're really stoked to have all these kiters in town. I went over to a little place called Central Block Coffee this morning, right in town, and the owner there, Jason, he's a kiter. He's like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do today. Do I go to the freestyle contest or I come to the foiling contest? He's like, at odds. But we got 2 more days of this, and today's the only day of freestyle, so we let him go over there today. But tomorrow and the next, he'll be out here watching this hydrofoiling. So as Parlier comes in to the top mark on port tack, full speed, Bridge trails right behind him. And let's see what happens with that 3, 4, and 5 position of Guy Bridge, Florian Trittle, Nico Landauer, and the threat from Florian Gruber and Martin Dolenk. Parlier approaches the starboard ley line. And Bridge is on his heels. Parlier goes for his tack. He says in his head, starboard. Did Bridge get in front of him? Bridge got in front of him. Oh, just barely. Parlier just edges him out at the top. Wow. What did he do? Parlier tacked a little early. Did he have a fall? I didn't see it. So as they're coming into the finish, it's Nico Parlier. Nico Parlier is going to take this race, followed by Ollie Bridge, and let's see what happens for this 3-4-5. It's tight. There's Guy Bridge. Guy Bridge rounds. Nico Landauer rounds. And Triddle just edges out Martin Dolenk for number 5. Dolenk, and then a blue ozone. Someone new snuck in there. I don't know who that is. And then Gruber. So we definitely had a mix-up on that last beat. That is cool stuff. So your race 4, that would be Guy Bridge. Yeah, so race 4 was Nico Parlier, followed by Ollie Bridge, and then Guy Bridge just edges out Landauer and Triddle and the rest of the gang to round out that top 3. Well, congratulations to those sailors. Thank you all for joining us. We've got one more race in this first session today. I would say that race is going to start somewhere around 25, somewhere in the 125, 130 range local time. And we will see you back there, see you back here at that time. So thanks everybody up at the Cruising Club. Go hit the bar, buy a drink, get your lunch, have a walk down the beach, and go check out the kiters as they get ready to land after this 3rd race. And you're welcome to walk on down there to that 2nd car park and socialize with them and see what they wanted. You know, they're going to be game-faced, but, you know, see what they're up to, chat with them a bit, say what's up, and then walk back up to the club, buy another beer, and enjoy that afternoon session. Thanks again for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, on the live Mixler and on YouTube. We'll talk to you soon. This is the Hydrofoil Pro Tour signing off for the moment. Cheers, everyone.